Did you know? Did you know that at any any given point in your life, you can make the decision to become someone completely new, completely different, completely aligned with the life that you actually want to live. So it's Media Reset. And for many persons that I've been talking to lately, there is this feeling of being stuck, this feeling of, life is kind of taking you along for the ride. And even though you may be doing all the things you think you should be doing, for some reason, you just don't feel like you can lean into this new direction that you feel is calling you, you feel is pulling at you. Well, I'm here today to talk about the experience that I'm creating for myself on the new app Threads, right? Now, I know that you may think it's like, what does one thing have to do with the other? What does owning my power and taking charge of my life have to do with this new Thread apps by Instagram? Well, here's the thing. If you think about how many different social media apps there are, and maybe the different people that you follow, if you notice that they may position themselves in different ways across all these different apps. Sometimes they choose to talk about different things. On one app, they may be selling, their lifestyle brand. On another app, they may be talking about their professional side. It just shows you that this entire experience, you get to ultimately create it. You get to ultimately own the power of creation that you have. And it does not require a new app to be launched in order for you to step into that new person that you want to become. You can literally draw a line in the sand and decide that at this moment, I'm going to make different choices. I'm going to take on a different path. And you can do so in a way that is only going to support this new direction that you're going towards. So we're in the midst of this media reset. I only have probably a couple more conversations to go. But I think the thing that is standing out to me most in this moment is how many persons I'm encountering literally on a daily basis that are in some sort of transition. They're either in a transition because they're moving from one country to the next and they're trying to figure out what's the best way for me to do that. Maybe they're in transition in their love space because they're in a relationship and they want the relationship to thrive and they're not sure of how exactly to approach that. Possibly they're in a 9 to 5 and they want to transition into a business, or they got laid off, because that happens sometimes as well when you hit the middle of the year, second half of the year, you're not in the budget, right? So I'm just encountering a lot of people that are in that shift, in that transitionary moment. And I am one of those persons. This is why we started the Media Reset in the first place. And the main thing that we have to all remember is that we have the power to own who we are being in every single moment. No matter what the state of your life is, you get to own who you are being. I was actually talking with my yogi this afternoon. I have yoga on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Thursday evenings. I had a yoga session today, and I was just expressing to her just all of the different changes that I'm experiencing in my own life. And in the midst of all of those things, I'm just feeling so much joy and so much contentment and ease and appreciation. And it's really strange because catch me 10 years ago, that was not Stacey Hines. Okay. Stacey was probably very much so working herself into the ground, not trying to really focus on what she wants in her life, but more burying herself in work, right? To make it okay to keep going, to keep doing. So in that moment, I wasn't owning my power because I really wasn't tapping into what exactly it is that I needed. I was working more, I was doing more so that I could make an excuse for really looking at myself and saying, am I living my life the way that I want to be living? So this afternoon, I hopped over onto Threads because a few of my friends were over there and they're like, oh, you have to come over and create your account on Threads, right? And with some apprehension, because I am a bit of an introvert, I hopped over there. And I decided that when I landed, that I was going to have a very specific conversation on Threads. all of my soulful side, all of my spiritual side, about my cards, about, my journal, all the different things that keep me going, that help me to build this mental resilience. Those are the threads that I want to weave in that space. And it's not necessarily something that I share with a lot of people. Not many persons know what my spiritual lean or my beliefs are. Not many persons know, how my gratitude practice has really made my life completely different. And so I decided in that moment, like, I'm going to be a new person on Threads. And this new person already exists over here on Instagram, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. It's just that I'm showing a different side of myself. I'm expressing a different thought pattern because it's a part of who I am. And it just made me so inspired to hop on live and to just talk about the way that we actually lose control, or we lose the sense of control of our lives because we become attached to all the other things and people that we're living for. We become attached to the images that we have of ourselves and the images that we put forward for other people online, especially, right? We become attached to the images that we put forward for our families. We become attached to the images that we put forward for our jobs, for our businesses, for our career, for our friends. Like, think about how many different personas you sometimes have to apply. You start to tidy up how you say certain things because you don't want to offend this person or that person. You withhold from persons who are close to you, withhold from your partner because you're afraid that they're going to judge you or they're going to leave you, right? Now, guys, in the middle of this year is the time where you want to let go of all of those preconditions. Give yourself permission to own your power and to step fully into the person that you are, because you are just perfect, just the way you are. Broken down, all the different things. You are exactly who you are supposed to be in this moment. And you don't have to make excuses for yourself for anyone. Okay? So the first thing you want to think about when how do I own my power and take control of my life is self-acceptance. Life is going to be lifing, right? Life is going to be lifing. There are things that are going to happen. Now, everybody is coming online and they are looking like everything is grand and prim and proper. The pictures look good. I'm here to tell you that while all the pictures look good, life is lifing in the background. People are sick. Relationships are breaking down. People are broke, them stressed out. It is happening behind all the pictures. So you have to step into a space of self-acceptance in order to own whoever you're going to be on any of the platforms that you're going to be on. Because once you have that first thing of self-acceptance, when you're stepping into that awareness and you're leaning into who you are being and accepting that regardless of all of the pressure cooker moments that are baking around in your life, that you're going to be content, that you're going to seek out the joy, that you're going to sit in gratitude. Once you can do those two things, you'll feel like you're in charge of your life, even when life may appear to be falling apart. Trust me, 100. So if you're not yet over on Threads, and guys, I'm so not a huge, like, be on every social media platform person. I'm just not that girl. But if you are thinking about being on Threads, I invite you to using the platform to reveal a side of yourself that maybe you are denying, to stepping into a part of your being that is actually the real you, not the person who's selling something, not the person who's seeding something, not the person who's trying to get a sponsor, just you. Aren't you tired of all the things that social media has become? It's always, you always I hear somebody always I sell something. It's literally like advertising 24/7. Don't you want to just let your hair down for a moment? And if you don't have no hair, don't you want to just feel like a cool breeze? Right? So let's challenge ourselves to step into some new threads. You know, even if you don't stick around over there because you're on too many platforms, just try it on. That's what I'm doing. So I'm over there. I'm going to be talking about my gratitude. I'm going to be talking about my intentions and my spiritual things. And God help what I'm going to be talking about. Yes, just do. Thank you. Thank you, Anissa. Just do. So owning your power starts with that self acceptance and leaning into the pressures of life from a place of joy, contentment, gratitude. Because as long as you have breath in your body, life is good. All right? Okay. So that's it for our mid-year reset tonight, guys. I hope I'll see you over on Threads. Let's have some real talk. I'm not into the politicking and the what's on the news and it, unless it has something that's going to help to move me in a deeply spiritual and calm way. So I'll see you guys over there. Okay? Take care. Thanks for joining.